In a bit, Matt. From roads to our parks, the Omaha City Council approved a plan today spelling out major projects for the city.
Yes, among them a way to better connect the community to a popular park. First Alert 6 Brenna Kiefner joins us live to explain more about it.
Hey Brian, Jacqueline, right now residents don't really have an easy way to bike to Levi Park. Funding for a trail approved today will just fix that. It's just in time because demand for the transportation there is only growing. The Levi Park Sports Complex is set to open this fall.
When you look at the city of Omaha, this will be the largest facility we have that's located inside of the city. 10
basketball courts that convert to 14 volleyball courts, a wrestling room, fitness center, computer lab, and classroom space. Outside, 4 full-size turf fields for soccer, lacrosse, and football. But a big facility like this doesn't matter if people can't get to it.
The Levi Park is definitely a bike share desert.
That's part of the reason a trail to wrap around Carter Lake, connecting the sports complex to Boyd and Jerry Parks nearby, is part of this year's capital improvement program.
And so we see this trail as really connecting the park and tying some of these pieces together, allowing everyone to enjoy different aspects of the park.
Heartland Bike Share is also installing a bike share station at Levi Carter. They say there currently is not one anywhere nearby.
It'll fill that gap for us. It'll also bring more people to the park then, and to the new project and the facilities that they're building.
Demand for bike access is already surging. Heartland's Free Rides program has added nearly 5,000 new members since April.
We're breaking all of our daily, weekly, monthly trip records. We're seeing new riders that have never ridden before.
Foltz expects the new Levi Carter station to be key to growing their mission.
And it'll probably be a top 10 station.
Now the ribbon cutting for the new sports complex is set for October 3rd, and Omaha Parks say that they plan to have testing before that opening to the public. Live in the newsroom, Brenna Kiefner, First Alert 6.
All right, thanks for that report.